we have done 4 different kinds of transformations. Shout them out. Dilation gets bigger or smaller. Translation moves. Rotation spins around, and reflection like flips over, right? So we're going to do this backwards now. I used to give you like a shape and be like, do this to it. Now I'm going to give you 2 shapes and ask you what happened. So I just want to show you, most people do pretty well with 3 of them, but not this is kind of cool. So what's this? That is a translation because the shapes stay the exact same, they just move. Right? What is this? Dilation because it got bigger. What's this? It's a reflection over like the pole. And then, okay, there's another one. What's this? That's not rotating. A is top left, A is top left. It's a translation because it's just moving. Like this arrow, just I can move wherever I want. And then what I really want to show you that people seem to have the most trouble with is visualizing like a rotation. So we always spin counterclockwise. So there's like an arrow on the board up there if you get stuck. And I'm just going to spin it around and kind of talk through. So if I turn it a quarter turn, it turns, so maybe I can draw this. So we're going to spin this. We're going to spin this one. So when we spin like a quarter of a turn, that's 90 degrees. We spin 2 quarter turns or a half a turn, that's 180 degrees. We spin 3 quarter turns, 270, and then if you kept going, you end up back at the start. So like, what does that look like for a shape? So there's my original. There's 90 degrees, so it rotates, like turns left a quarter of a turn. So that is turned a half of a turn. That's 180. Then 270 goes over here. And if I went all the way back, then we're back to the beginning. I wish I could show more shapes. I looked, but I couldn't find any. But keep that in mind as we do like what we're about to do. So, look at the worksheet. Where's the worksheet? Alright, just give it to me. Okay. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to do one later. I think that's the trickier one. So we won't start with it. So if I look at 2, is that a dilation? Like it get bigger or smaller? Number 2. Not get bigger or smaller. Is that a reflection? Like is it mirrored over itself? No. Is it a rotation? Did it spin? No. So what's left? What's left? Translation. And then you gotta tell me like what kind. So I can pick any point, you can check all of them. What happened was every point just went 1 to the right. And then F to F prime, you went 1 to the right. You didn't go up or down at all. E to E prime, you went 1 to the right. So I went 1 to the right, what do I put right here? X plus good. And then I didn't go up or down at all. So I don't put like 1 plus or minus, but I put just regular 1. And then you're done. So you're telling me what you just going back. So here's what happened, you tell me what it was. Look at number 3. I'll give you a second, see if you can come up with which one of those 4 things it is. And then if you can, like take it a step further and be more detailed. I'm going through it as much as you're trying. If I go like A to A prime, I want 1 right and 4 up. prime, one right, 4. One right, 4 up. So what kind is that? That's a translation. 1 to the right means x plus 1. If it was left, it would be minus 1. And then because I went up 4, I put y plus 1. Translations, those two okay? 2 and 3. Alright, 4. Kind is that? Dilation, I can tell because it just got bigger. It's like the whole shape just blew up like that balloon I showed you a second ago. So it is a dilation. But the second part of that is like, okay, what size is the dilation? So you can kind of pick anything. I'm going to look at like that y value and that y value because it obviously got bigger. Like this y value here is 2. And then the y value up here is 5. You see how I'm getting that? Just count like 2 up and then 5 up. So how many times bigger did it get? When you're going to divide, and just be careful to think through that you don't divide the wrong way. If you did 2/5, you did 2 divided by 5. This is not right. I want to show you why. Throw in your calculator, you look at 0.4. Well, wouldn't multiplying by something by 0.4 make it smaller? And this got bigger, so this doesn't make sense. But if you do 5 divided by 2, you get 2.5. Well, if you multiply it by 2.5, does it get bigger? It does, so it matches up with the fact that this gets bigger. So really, you could do, like, it's just going to be like y prime divided by y, or u prime divided by u, or whatever point you want. But if you just pay attention to something bigger or smaller, I think that helps you keep it straight. Number 5. Take a second and see if you can think through what that is. Didn't say it out loud. So is it a dilation? Bigger or smaller? No. Is it a translation? It's not, because that shape would have to look the same. It just moved. It's kind of like, is it a rotation or a reflection? What do you think? It's a reflection. So we're reflecting over the x-axis here. And I can tell because that point is like 3 above, and then the other side of that is 3 below. Like this point's 2 above, 2 below. So it flipped over. Reflection over the x-axis. So I saved the rotations for last because I think they're the most confusing for most people. See how it goes. This is my original shape. This one. So I guess I should start. Can we tell it's not a dilation? It's not getting bigger, right? It's not a translation because that shape would have stayed the same. It almost looks like a reflection, kind of, but not quite. Like that L prime, if you reflect it over the y-axis, you have to end up there, and that doesn't match up, so it's not a reflection. So it's going to be a rotation. And remember, go this way. A quarter turns 90, half turns 180, 3/4 of a turn is 270. So what do we have here? That's a 90-degree rotation. So you can kind of think about visualizing like my hand is here, that's the shape, and I just like spin it. That's my 90 degrees. I let there. If I go to 180, and I break my arm to 270. Something like that. Try number 1. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Wrong color, but my fancy arrow here. If I said clockwise, I just spelled it. Try 1. So you just kind of think through each one. So I'm looking at number 1. Is it a dilation? Well, a dilation would be the exact same shape, but just kind of like bigger. It's not. Should I just stop talking? So number 1, that is not a dilation. get bigger or smaller. It's not a translation. It's not like the same shape, just shifted over. It's not a reflection because this W would have to have a W prime over here, and it doesn't. So all that's left is rotation. And how many quarter turns do I make? So like the 90 would be up here somewhere. This is your 180. That's 270. So this is a rotation of 180. How many had that before I said what it was? Questions? Like anything else I can explain on that rotation one? Especially the rotation one. I'm going to do one more rotation one, so if you want to join me, I'm going to look at number 8. So the way I know it's a reflection is I just kind of know it's not the other three. It's not a dilation because it didn't get bigger or smaller. It's not a translation because the shape is like tilted. It's not a reflection because it's not mirrored. It is a rotation. The question is then how much. So I start here. I work my way around. How many quarter turns did I make? I can go because you go this way. So 90 would be here. 180 would be like over here. I think you're just going like the other direction. Did you start with this one? So that's why, because those are the primes actually. So you're supposed to start with the other one. But if you started with this one, you write it as 270. So I'll put the answers up. Walk around the house, please grab me if you need help. Do the whole thing.